Our youth program is dedicated to meeting the needs for quality educational program for each of you young people, creating rich, engaging experiences for you. We want to offer high quality, fun activities that stimulate your curiosity. We want to get you thinking and get your creativity going, including educational enrichment, cultural, arts, education, community service, also creating opportunities for caring relationships to form between young people and adults. And so that's why today you're going to see some phenomenal young women that will be sharing with you their fields of expertise, because we know in order for you to advance and to be excited about your future, you have to have someone that you can ask questions of. So you don't always have to go to YouTube. We've brought the experts to you today. So I'm so excited for us to get our program started as we move on today. If you all are excited, give me an excited emoji in the chat. I'm looking. Remember, there's going to be participant prizes. All right, Gabby, I see a little cat face, Black Girl Magic. All right. Who else? Who else is excited? Who's not excited, but mom just said you had to be here today? And that's okay, because it's okay, Carson, that's fine. Because at the end of the day, I want you to say, I wasn't excited, but guess what? I'm excited now. When we started Camp Inspired, that was my goal. I wanted the girl that didn't necessarily like STEM, didn't necessarily like science, tech, engineering, arts, and math. And by the end of our program, we could change that just a little bit. So if we can get you from 0 excitement to 1 excitement today, I'm super excited. If I can get you from a 1 to a 5, I'm just all over the place. And if we can get you to a 10 today, we will just like blow the moon off, right? So if you're not excited, that's okay, because that gives us a place to measure. So that's perfectly okay. Who was that, Carson? So I think that's it for me. Do I have excited faces from everyone? All right, super excited. Yay. That's it for me. And I'm gonna see who I'm turning this over to next. One moment, please. So next, I have the honor of introducing our first guest speaker. Who is excited about hearing the first speaker? Who is excited about space? Who's excited about space? I need some reactions in the chat room. Who would like to meet someone that has worked for and worked with NASA? Who has absolutely no idea what NASA is? And guess what? If you don't know, guess what? It's okay, right? Like, it's okay not to know today. So I need for everyone to give me an emoji in the chat that lets me know it's okay if I don't know something today. I need for you to know that it's okay if you don't know something today. Got it? So if you don't know what NASA is that okay? Yeah, because I think I was like super old before I knew, maybe. So our first speaker is Ms. Tara Reed Smith, and she is appointed a visiting NASA scholar. I'm not going to bore you with my voice and give you her long bio and tell you all about her, because I'm sure she's going to do that herself. And I know, especially from my young people that aren't super excited right now, they're like, oh, Miss Jennifer, please, right? But we're just going to go ahead. We're going to throw it over to Tara, because again, I think she can best explain what she's doing and what she has done, so that we can move that excitement needle from like a 1 to a 1.5 and maybe blast off like to a 10. So Tara, are you ready with the thumbs up?
Yes.
All right, we're going to turn your mic on. I'm going to turn mine off.
Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, well, I am so honored and delighted to be here. Again, she mentioned, my name is Tahira Reed Smith. I am a professor actually at Purdue University. And during this year, I'm actually on something called sabbatical where I don't have to teach. And so I am visiting with NASA as a scholar, mostly helping them with design process related work. But I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about myself as a person. And hopefully my goal is to inspire you all to see yourself and see what you can be. And I'm gonna try to do this quickly because I know very limited time. So one day I sat and I thought about things like who I am as a person, where I was born, the family I was born into, who I was raised by. I just figured out, because when I look back and I'm going to tell you some of the stories, I realized all of it works so well for all the things that I've done this so far in life. And who I am and all of this gives me perspectives, insights that helps me to interact with people from all walks of life. And so this is true for everybody on this call as well. Where you're born, family you're born into, where you're growing up, where you might move to, all of that is valuable for just contributing back to society. So let me just keep going here. So little background about myself. I'm originally from Bronx, New York. And so I heard Jen talk about being in New York. I haven't lived there in a long time, but I still have family. I'm first generation American, grandparents, great grandparents, Jamaican. In this photo is a picture with a lot of the matriarchs in my family. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but that's me sitting here. I don't even know if you guys know what that is hanging on the wall. I wonder if anyone knows what that is hanging on the wall. But this is my paternal grandmother. This is my maternal grandmother. And then this is her sister, my great aunt. And so I lived in an extended family. I grew up with my grandparents, my mother, my aunt. I didn't have a concept of what's called a nuclear family, like mother, father, kids. I grew up in an extended family. I had more relatives on the next block, et cetera, et cetera. So this is where I started. And I was always very curious as a little girl. This is me at about age 4. My uncle took this picture. And this is me second grade, back in the day. So don't be alarmed. I know kids are like, whoa, what's that shadow? That's how they used to do photos back in the 80s, okay? You had a front face and then you turn sideways. But one of the things that was really popular in New York City, double Dutch jump rope, okay? McDonald's had commercials with girls jumping double Dutch. They had teams doing it. They had all kinds of, I love double Dutch. I learned at age 5 and got better with time. But at that time, I was an only child. I had no siblings. And the only time I could play was when I got to school. I had to wait for recess to play with all the girls. And I don't know about you guys, but recess seemed to go very quick if you have 2 people turning the rope and 10 girls in a line, and everyone got 2 turns. So by the time it was your time to get another, it was like recess was over. And so in the 3rd grade, and I couldn't get enough of it, the 3rd grade, we had a poster contest. And the question was, draw a picture of something you wish you could have. And so this is not the original. The original was on this large poster paper with yarn as the rope. I glued yarn down. But my mom, moms always throw stuff out. This is what was there. Just 2 poles with some buttons and a girl jumping. And I was like, I wish there was a machine that could turn for me. At this time in history, there was some NASA history. The Space Shuttle Challenger disaster happened. This is something that happened. It went up and it never came back down. There was, I won't get into the details, but it was a tragedy of that time. So a lot of the other kids were drawing pictures of rocket ships and all this, but I was like, I want a machine to turn jump rope for me. That's what was on my mind. And I happened to win first prize in that poster contest. Then I forgot about the idea. I was in 3rd grade at this time. High school, they had something called Kids to Korea. I went to Korea, and it was because of LA riots that were happening. They wanted to help kids who lived in inner cities. So kids from New York City, LA, Atlanta, and Washington, DC got selected to go visit Korea to learn more about the culture and come back and share it. Because the LA riots that happened back then, there was a lot of tension between Black people and people, some of the Korean store merchants. And so big sponsorship happened to send us there for free. That's me in the picture, old school hairstyle. You guys might be like, what is she wearing? Okay, I was a junior in high school in this picture, okay? Then I went on to undergrad, Rensselaer Medal. This is me in 12th grade. I think there's some 12th graders. These earrings, yes, I know, they're huge. They were called door knockers back then. And I won this medal, but I was such a tomboy. So I just wanted to show you, like, this is how I used to dress, like going to college. Those are my sneakers right there. That was just me, okay? I was just so like that, just a tomboy, and, you know, just like to dress that way. But I was really smart. I was always really smart. And I won this thing called the Rensselaer Medal because I went to school there. And so I just want to, and then I went on to this school called Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, and I studied mechanical engineering, okay? And I did a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. Now, here's what happened. I went there and I had to take a class in design, and the theme was challenging the limits in sports and recreational activities. And then I remembered my third grade idea. I was like, wait a minute. Double Dutch, that's a recreational activity. And so now I had skills and resources to build this thing. And I did with a team of students. It took years though. And I got 2 patents for it. It got shown on the news, Today Show, all these places that you see, all of this. And I started to go to church. Let me tell you why. Because I was like, all this good stuff was happening. And then I met a girl that was like, oh, I need to find a church home. And I was like, I've never heard people talk like that before. Maybe I need one of those. Maybe I need a church home because I've never heard that. And I started to go to church with a friend. And then there was this one that had things that they did with children. I was like, oh, churches do things with kids? Oh, wow. Okay. And that's how I got started. Okay. Just as a background, it was because of this that happened. Okay. And then it got featured in this book called Double Dutch by Veronica Chambers. There's a whole chapter in there called To Hear or Read, Ben Franklin's Answer to Double Dutch. And I am many years old now, okay? I don't look my age. I'm many years old, and people still like to hear about this. Here's an example. I am a professor at Purdue. In 2012, I'm a professor. They said, hey, we want you to talk about that thing that you did on this TED Talk. Then in Indiana, some schools said, hey, can you come talk about that Double Dutch stuff you did? And then a mentor told me, you need to talk about this at a dissertation. I said, it's a dissertation workshop. Dissertation, for you guys to, just to tell you, is this document that people write when they do PhD research. PhD, Doctor of Philosophy, is a document they put together to get a PhD. This has nothing to do with Double Dutch, but she said, still talk about it, okay? And then this is a picture of my goddaughter's school in New York. I'll tell you a little bit about that in a second. Story got featured on a statewide exam, okay? They put it on a standardized test from that book for 4th graders in the state of New York. So my goddaughter was a 4th grader at the time, and she was she was a 4th grader in 2018, and they asked her, they asked the kids, hey, who's heard of Double Dutch? She raised her hand. Oh, my godmother, she made a machine. They said, what's your godmother's name? And she told them her name. At the time, I wasn't married, and they didn't believe her. So I was like, okay, I got to come and represent. I got to come to her school. So I came and did a demo and did some things with the kids. So that's what this picture is on the right. But yeah, it was featured on this statewide exam. I still to this day don't know who did it. I was very humbled to find this out. And I found this out from a friend in New York whose daughter took the test. And I was just humbled for about 3 days. I couldn't talk. I was like, wow, oh my gosh, I'm on a standardized test. Whoa. And it came from this book. Something fun to show you. Someone didn't like it. on Amazon, they were like, why would they put this on the exam? And blah, blah, blah. But it's a nice story anyway. Okay, let me keep going. Then I come to Michigan for a PhD. So I did one of those things called a dissertation, a doctor of philosophy. And I did it at the University of Michigan. So I was living in Troy, New York, where the other school was, and drove all the way to Ann Arbor. And I studied something called design science. I got a PhD. And now I want to tell you about this verse that helped me as a grad student at Michigan, because it's really hard work. 2 Timothy 1:9, it says, who has saved us and called us with a holy calling, not according to our works, but according to his purpose and grace, which was given to us before Christ, in Christ Jesus before time began. I used to try to do everything in all my own knowledge and strength. And I had knowledge, but I had to be reminded, your knowledge is not enough. You need God to help you too. Like, you have to collaborate with him, because I would put so much pressure. And so one of my favorite prayers I like to pray is, God, put your super on my natural. Put your super on my natural. And you might hear people say, do your best, let God do the rest. That is sort of what this is all about. And this verse has helped me along. And so then I finished grad school at Michigan. I become a professor at University of Michigan. Now at the title associate professor. I have this huge research lab. This is fancy stuff. My lab is this research lab place where you do research. But only thing I'm going to talk about is this one that I do with this project I did with curly hair. So, you know, a lot of us women, especially Black women, we have our hair in a natural state and sometimes like to flat iron it. And the problem is you get something called heat damage, but women don't all know how to measure and study that. So I was like, well, mechanical engineers learn about heat transfer. Why don't we try to do a project on this? And that's what happened. And so I got together with another person who has an entire lab dedicated to heat transfer of very, very tiny nano, it's a nanoscale. It's so small that you can't hardly see it. Nanoscale. Hair is at what's called the micro scale, okay? And so we said, we're gonna study this. And when we did it, and people said, don't study this, but I did anyway, because in my gut, I knew we got some great information on how do we study heat damage and all this kind of stuff with hair. Lots of hard work. This is us in the laboratory as the grad student working on it. And this also got featured in lots of media places. What I would love to do is take a hair salon and turn it into a laboratory, a classroom, because culturally, this is a space where a lot of us go. I mean, pre-pandemic, you get your hair done. There's so much engineering in a hair salon. People only think about the chemistry, the curling iron, the combs and conditioner has some engineering in it. You know, the styling chair, there's so much. Hopefully, this is something I can work on later if I could get some grant funding. But I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna tell you a little bit more. I feel like I'm over, okay, I have like a minute left. Some other aspects of my life besides just work. I'm recently married. I love to cook. This is the goddaughter I was telling you about. Been mentoring her since age 2. I have a little dog named Bentley, and I'm involved in several prayer ministries, ministry groups. That's one of my callings, is prayer. I feel like I have a couple more things, but please check me on time. I think I have only 10 seconds left. I could stop it right here. I just wanted to have some final comments, but I just want to make sure I'm not doing time. Okay, no one's saying anything. Okay, couple of things. Transcend your situations, your life circumstances, any limitations you have. I love the story of Jim Thorpe, who had to run a race with 2 different shoes that didn't fit him, and he still won first prize. Sometimes in life, we're given shoes that don't fit us. There's things that are given to us that make it a little bit harder, perhaps, to run a race. However, you can transcend those. You can do that by connecting with other positive people, surrounding yourself with good people that strengthen you, that encourage you, etc. And then the goal is to go on and inspire others. So I just want to say a couple things, and then wrap up, and I guess, I don't know if there's questions. Some people don't feel good about where they came from, or feel good about who their family is, or feel good about where they live, don't see the negative in it. See that as the potential for innovation and creativity, because your perspective, and especially when you all, and I say when, not if, when you all go to college, it's like what you learn is like these glasses. They give you a lens on how you see life, but all that you're seeing through it is all of this background, all of this individuality now has a perspective to see the world. I have a mechanical engineering perspective that allows me to see things that maybe others wouldn't, especially in my field. There's not a lot of women, not a lot of Black people. Now I figure Black women, not many of us. So that's why I was able to think about, how can we do something with hair? No one was thinking about it. So last, I'll end here. This quote that is my favorite. Remember that you're needed. There's at least one important work to be done that will not be done unless you do it. One, at least one, okay? So all of you have purpose. All of you have a special place on the planet. And I really want to encourage you all to embrace where you are. Keep running your race. Keep going forward. All of y'all go to college if you can't, please. And I'll stop right there. Thank you so much. I will just stop right here. Okay, I think I'm over by 2 minutes.
Thank you so much for sharing with us today. Can we get a round of applause in the chat room, everyone? And I'll have my camera on, so I'm gonna do a round of applause. Yay. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So I believe what is next on our agenda today is some STEAM trivia and games. I'm not certain who the game host is, so I'm gonna throw it over to our game show host for the day.
So that's probably me, but I also have you on the personal meeting room that's showing you on YouTube. So I didn't want to have that feedback. And Dr. Smith, I saw in the chat room that English really wants you to go back a couple of slides and show her something. So maybe you can just share your PowerPoint with English, because she had like, please go back. And I don't think our
I didn't see it. I wasn't seeing the chat.
Go back, it was right, this one right here.
This one?
Thank you. Oh, no problem, English. I did see that. As I get the game ready.
So did you want me to talk about this some more, or were you writing it down, or?
English, if you can respond.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I just wanted to capture this.
Yeah, this is real though. I mean, we could, while she's doing the other task, this is real, you know, transcend your situations. Not everybody has a nice laid out path. You know, there's all kinds of things that say, oh, this is the type of family you should be born in. This is where you should be. This is where you should grow up. This, that, and the third. And that's not always true. You want to transcend it. And there's so many stories of people in our ancestors, our people,
keep turning my head,
that have done this. Whatever your limitations are, transcend them, rise above them. And then for sure, I had some good people around. Now, I didn't get into my story where I nearly went off track, like for real off track, when I was a teenager wanting to make some more money. I almost went on a whole nother path, but there was a divine intervention that completely blocked me from going a whole nother path. So yes, surround yourself with good people. Reflect on the good. And then I didn't get into that part. Allow the not so good to be a stepping stone. So maybe there's some things that, boy, gosh, you know, this would have been, I wish I didn't have to experience this or live this. How do you use it as a stepping stone to build you up to go further in life, and then go inspire other people?
Thank you so much, Dr. Smith, for that. So as we prepare for this very quick game, can you guys see what's happening behind me? Use the chat box and write down as many movies as you see. The first person to be with the majority of the movies in 30 seconds, win a prize. And it is going to be an amazing prize. So look at those movies, not just the ones that are screening through, but all of the movies that you see. And everything STEM or STEAM, write it. Go, 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 guys. Are we almost at 30 seconds? Oh, wow, you guys are good. Go, go. Get them on there. Get them on there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay, thank you. So let's see who has the most as we prepare for our next speaker. And I think our next speaker will also give you one of the prizes.
Oh, as we're tallying the winner, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our next speaker. I'm super, super excited to introduce Miss Brittany Rhodes with Black Girl Magic. I'm, again, not going to read her bio. I'm just going to give you a really quick personal story. For those of you in the chat who do not like math, like why do we need it, right? Like, give me something in the chat that you're like, math, can't stand it, or that you might like it. Anyway, I met Brittany, wow, it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years. We met at an event downtown Detroit. It was, what was it? A conference for girls, and Priya and I, we were walking around and I kept seeing these balloons bounce around that said Pi Day. And Camp Inspire, we were planning our Pi Day. And I was like, I gotta get to the other side of this very, very, very crowded, tight room, right, Brittany? Like that room was like shoulder to shoulder. I was like, I gotta get over there. She has Pi balloons over there. I have to get over there. I have to get over there. We're having this Pi Day. So I made my way, like it literally took me almost 30, 45 minutes in this tight room to get over and find this lady with these balloons for Pi Day, or Pi, the mathematical expression Pi. Like if she had like apple pie, I'd have got over a lot quicker. So I get over there and I'm like, oh my goodness, I love your balloons. And so we began talking and I introduced myself and I shared with her what Camp Inspire was doing for Pi Day. And last year, I guess, or when time is just like, it's non-existent to me anymore with quarantine. And so we connected there and she came out with Black Girl Magic, and she's gonna explain to you all about that to our Pi Day that was at Starfish Family Services. So for those of you who attended that, you might have already met her. But on a personal note, Brittany's desire is to kind of take the yucky out of math and get young girls especially excited about math and increase that enthusiasm. And once I met her, I was like, she is the brain that I need. So for those of you who know Priya, she is currently Priya's math tutor. Every Wednesday they're online. And oh my gosh, like when you talk about heaven sent. So I'm so grateful for the time that she's invested and that she's taken with Priya to really get her to understand her math concepts, because I couldn't, we run a STEM program, but math is so not my thing. But that's important, young people, to make those connections and get connected to someone that can help you and that you can help them along the way as well. So she's going to tell you about her exciting math, Black Girl Magic boxes. I can attest from a personal standpoint, I really should have had Priya introduce her. She's standing here. That's why I keep turning my head, because she keeps asking me questions about food right now. Brittany knows, right? she's standing right here, but I really should have had her introduce you. But I'm going to turn it over to Brittany Rhodes with Black Girl Magic, and also the brain that I wish that I had when it comes to math.
Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, that event was so crowded. And so I remember my mom and I were just talking about how loud it was. Like it was so loud, so crowded, but we met each other. So it was a great day. So hi everybody, I'm Brittany. As Jennifer said, I am the founder of Black Girl Magic, which you can see really big behind me. So it's not magic, it's magic, because I want to show all of y'all, especially the young folks on here today, and especially the girls, how math is magical, basically. So I'm going to share my screen and I will start my presentation. And we do have a couple of games and prizes today. So make sure you are listening because you might miss it if you are not. Okay, let me hit the present button. And like Jennifer said, give me a purple heart in the chat if you love math, a green heart if you're like, math is cool, you know, I like it sometimes I don't. And give me a blue heart if you're just like, math is not it. Like math is not, it's not working for me. Let me know how you're feeling today. Okay, I'm seeing some purple hearts. Okay. All righty. Wonderful. Purple heart. Yes, Dr. Smith. Okay. Loving it. All right, let me head on over to the next slide here. So, hello everybody again. Christian said green with a long green. A long green. Okay, Christian, I'll take it. I'm Brittany. I am the founder and owner of Black Girl Magic. I have a math degree, so I actually studied math in college and got my whole bachelor's degree in math. I went to Spelman College, a historically Black college, also known as HBCU in Atlanta, Georgia. And then I also got my MBA, which stands for Master of Business Administration, so a graduate school business degree from Carnegie Mellon University, which is in Pittsburgh. And as Jennifer shared, I'm a tutor. I have been tutoring math for over 15 years. So I started tutoring my freshman year at Spelman, and I have been tutoring ever since. And I've worked in the nonprofit world primarily before I started my business. And no matter what my full-time job was, I was always tutoring on the side. I'm a recently retired, I guess you can call it, GED math instructor. So not only have I worked with kids, I've also taught adults who didn't finish high school and want to take the GED to better their lives. I taught them the math part of the GED test. And I am a very proud Detroiter, born and raised and still living here today. So how did I come up with Black Girl Magic? Well, you probably could tell just from the conversation earlier, I really do love math. And here are a few key people who helped me make this thing run every single day. On the far left is my husband, Oscar, who actually gave me the idea for Black Girl Magic because it's a subscription box. And if you don't know what a subscription box is, you have probably seen those commercials where there's like, they send you a box of food to the house and then they send you recipes and you cook the food and they send it every month. So that's a subscription box. So it's literally a box that you subscribe to, much like you subscribe to Netflix or like magazines, but it's a box and it comes with all kind of stuff. So I put math activities and math fun in a box and I ship it to your house every single month. And then in the middle is the artist who drew this lovely young lady you see behind me, and then also some of the other art you'll see in the presentations today. He draws all my art every single month, and we include stickers in every box with the art that he draws. And then there's me, and then on the far right is my lovely mother. My mom is, she used to be a principal. So she was a principal for almost 20 years for a kindergarten, started at kindergarten through second grade, and she grew her school all the way to kindergarten through 8th grade. So this whole business, like she loves it and she helps me all the time. We were actually at the post office at 9 o'clock last night, shipping our 17th set of boxes. So we've been doing this for just a little over a year. And here are some of the beautiful girls that have been getting the Black Girl Magic boxes. And yes, we do have some boys who got them too. So boys, don't worry, this can be for you too. And you'll notice we don't just have Black girls. We also, bottom left, we have white families and white girls who get these boxes too. So this box is for everybody. And where have we been? So we launched last year. We have shipped over 1,200 boxes to over 35 states. Not all 50 yet. We're getting there. But 35 plus. And we even shipped to Canada last month, which was really exciting, but it took a long time because it's going internationally and then because of COVID. But we're excited to send more boxes to Canada. And on top of that, we also have been featured in Forbes magazine online, which was super exciting, and on Beyonce's website in the summertime. So that was very, very exciting. I love Beyonce, and I was so honored that she chose Black Girl Magic as one of the Black-owned businesses that she wanted to highlight on her website around Juneteenth. And then after that, let's see what's on this next slide, because I just put these together and forgot what's on here. Oh, yes. This is, so, like I said, we just shipped our 17th box, so I'm actually missing 5 women. But I want to talk about these amazing women that I feature in the boxes every single month. So every month I interview a Black woman mathematician, and her story is what creates the box. Her story goes into the box. So every single month you're learning about Black history. You're learning about a different amazing woman who has used math to do really, really cool things. And I want you to listen very closely because I'm about to talk about 2 of these women right now in a little more detail. The top left, this woman you see in the top left corner, I'm kind of putting this blue circle over her face. This is Dr. Gladys West. Dr. West just turned 90 years old a few weeks ago. And Dr. West's claim to fame is she is the mathematician whose calculations helped invent GPS. So the GPS we all know and love that we use on our phones all the time and that we use on our iPads or wherever, Dr. West helped create GPS. She was doing mathematical equations and calculations by hand because she, like I said, she's 90 and they were working on the GPS a long time ago. And there were no computers, there was no software, none of that. She was doing this math by hand and her calculations helped create GPS. And then the second mathematician I want to call out today, because these 2 ladies, they're our pioneers. They're like another set of hidden figures. Right here, so on the far right in the middle, this is Dr. Gloria Gilmer. Dr. Gilmer is, I believe, 91 or 92 years old, and Dr. Gilmer studied the mathematics of hair braiding. So just how Dr. Reed Smith was showing us all the science in the hair salon, oh, guess what else? There's a lot of math in the hair salon. So she was looking at parts and triangle, you know how you get the triangle parts in your hair and you get the little designs and all that symmetry. Dr. Gilmer studied that. She was literally going into hair salons in Harlem. So she was in New York too, although she's not from New York, but she was in Harlem studying the mathematics of hair braiding. So you have Dr. Gladys B. West, who helped create GPS using mathematics. And then you have Dr. Gloria F. Gilmer, who was using hair to study mathematical patterns. So these women are amazing. And these are the types of women you learn about every single month in your Black Girl Magic box. Okay, now that we've talked about the box, it wouldn't be right if we didn't do a couple of math games. So the first one we're going to do is called Which One Doesn't Belong? And some of you have probably already played this before. So I want you to look at these 4 numbers and I want you to type in the chat which number you think doesn't belong. So between 9, 16, 25, and 35, which one does not belong? And I'm going to go look at the chat so I can read your comments because I want to see what you guys have to say. Which one doesn't belong? Okay, you got to tell me why too. So I see people typing 9. Why do you think 9 doesn't belong? Tell me more about why 9 doesn't belong. Okay, LaShawn says 16 doesn't belong because it's even. Good observation, LaShawn, because 9, 25, and 35 are odd. So 16 could not belong in that context. Okay, Abby said 9 doesn't belong because it's the only 1-digit number. Gabby said the same thing. Priya says 16 is not odd. Okay, y'all, okay. Anybody think 25 or 35 doesn't belong? And if so, why? Or is it just 9 and 16? Okay, Ashley, Aiden, 16 is not I. Christian said 9 plus 9 equals 18. Yes, it does. It absolutely does. Okay. Well, these are all great observations. Now, I'm going to go to the next one really in a second, but you also, so you're correct if you said 9. You're also correct if you said 16. If you were thinking about perfect squares, if you've learned perfect squares in school yet, and if you haven't, it's okay because you'll learn it at some point, you would have said 35 doesn't belong because 35 is not a perfect square. 9 is a perfect square because 3 squared equals 9, aka 3 times 3 equals 9. 16 is a perfect square because 4 times 4 equals 16. And then 25 is a perfect square because what? There we go, Gabby. 5 times 5 equals 25. We cannot multiply one of the same number and get 35, so it's not a perfect square. But you guys did such a great job. Okay, let's go to our next one, which is, would you rather? So the question is, would you rather drink a smoothie that contains half of your favorite fruit or drink a smoothie that contains 3/4 of your favorite fruit? And remember, folks, you have to tell me why you picked whichever one you picked. So Pastor Velma said 3/4. Anybody else, 1/2 of your favorite fruit or 3/4 of your favorite fruit? And don't forget to tell me why, because I want to see how that brain is working. I want to see what's going on up there. So let me know something. Gabby said 1/2 because, wait, let me go back up. What did you say, Gabby? Because there should be other healthy things inside. 3/4, Christian, you put green beans in your smoothie? I mean, it actually might not be so bad. 3/4, can I get a green bean? Jennifer said 1/2 less sugar. Abby, you're still thinking. You're not quite sure yet what you would put in yours. Which one is more? 1/2 or 3/4? Which one is bigger? Gabby says 3/4.
I actually put it up. If you scroll up, I put it there.
Aiden says 3/4. Oh, Abby, let me go up and see what you wrote. Oh, you said 3/4. I see it. Okay. Gabby, okay, equivalent fractions. Put in 1/2 equals 2/4. Absolutely. So if 1/2 is equivalent to 2/4, we know that 3/4 is bigger because they share the same denominator, but 3 is bigger than 2. Good job, y'all. All right. Well, guys, that concludes our games, but don't worry because now it is time for our prizes. So last month in October, we did a box themed I'm So Fly. And the reason why we themed it that is because the Black woman mathematician we featured, her name is Olivia. She lives in Texas. Her actual job title is mathematician at her job. That's her title. And she works at Lockheed Martin. Has anybody heard of Lockheed Martin before? Does that sound familiar? It's a big corporation and they build airplanes. Lockheed Martin so the full name is Lockheed Martin Aeronautics. So they build airplanes. So like those airplanes, if you've ever flown on an airplane before, drop me an airplane emoji. So if you've flown Delta or if you've flown Southwest or if you've flown, I'm dating myself. I'm thinking about like some old school airlines. Lockheed Martin builds those airplanes that the military uses, they build them too. And Olivia's job is to use math to make sure those airplanes, when they go to the customer, and in her case, she works on the military airplanes, so the planes that go to the Navy and the Army and the Air Force, and who am I forgetting? The Coast Guard and the Marines, when they go to those customers, they don't have any mistakes. So that's called zero defects. So she uses math to make sure those airplanes are perfect before they go to the customer. So we did a whole airplane box last month And we were talking, I was talking to Miss Velma, and she was like, you know, Dr. Smith works for NASA, which is like aerospace, airplane related. So it would be really cool if you could give away a couple of your Black Girl Magic airplane boxes. And I was like, Miss Velma, that's all you had to say. So I'm going to ask my first question, and the first person to answer this question correctly in the chat. Thank you guys for dropping the airplanes, by the way, I see them. The first person to answer this question correctly in the chat. Oh, wait, Gabby said, is it all math? So great question, Gabby. I will answer that before I ask my prize question. So the Black Girl Magic Box is not all math. The primary focus is mathematics, but you're also doing a lot of reading because you're learning about these Black women mathematicians. So you're actually reading an interview that I have conducted with these women. You're also getting a math confidence affirmation card, so a positive statement about math that you can like put up in your room or put in your journal or put in your book bag. And you're also getting math games or other types of things that like make stuff fun, that like make learning fun. So sometimes you could get a book, like I've actually put chapter books in the box. Sometimes you can get math games. You always get stickers. So every month you get 6 stickers in the box. And then you get like school supplies sometimes. It just depends on what the theme is. I put stuff in the box like that all makes sense together. So yeah, there's math, but then there's other stuff sprinkled in as well. I hope that
What else is in the box? Like other stuff.
I didn't hear you, dear.
What else is in the box? Like other stuff.
Yeah, so that's everything that's in there. It's math activities. It's a math booklet with all the activities, like real world math based on whatever the theme is. So whoever gets this box will be doing math related to airplanes. There will also be like some dry erase markers and some erasers and a probability spinner. What else came in this box? I'm forgetting some stuff. It's full of all kind of great stuff. Okay. So my first question is, remember the first person to answer. What is Dr. Gladys West's claim to fame? What is Dr. Gladys West known for? Priya, you got it. Priya said GPS. Yes, ma'am, you are correct. And just to be clear, because Jennifer told y'all I tutor Priya, we have never talked about Dr. West on any of our tutoring sessions before. So she just heard that today. Miss Velma, do you want me to ask my second question, or is the second box reserved for whoever won the movie challenge?
Yes, and we also have 2 other prizes too. So you can actually ask another question because
You want me to
have 2
ask
other
my
prizes.
second one?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna ask my second one. Second question is, what did Dr. Gloria Gilmer use math to study? What did she study with math? Gabby, you got it. Ding, 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 ding. Hair. She used math to study hair. Wonderful job, Priya. Wonderful job, Gabby, and everybody else who participated. Thank y'all so much. And before I wrap up, I have to hit y'all with a quote from my girl Katherine Johnson. Who knows where Katherine Johnson? Who was Katherine Johnson? Does anybody know what movie she was in or what her story was told in? What movie was her story told in?
Was she still in Hidden Figures, I think?
Hidden Figures, yes, ma'am. So I'm gonna read a quick quote from Katherine because I just love this quote so much. And I want y'all to remember this, especially if you are not that excited about math right now. I want you to just take this and like stick it in your head and keep it there. We will always have STEM with us. Some things will drop out of the public eye and will go away, but there will always be science, engineering, and technology. And there will always, always be mathematics. And that is my presentation for today, you guys. Please go follow Black Girl Magic on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. check out our website at blackgirlmagic.com. We actually just launched a kindergarten through second grade one-time holiday box. So if you have any kindergarten first graders or second graders in your life, please go check that out. We'll be shipping those next month. And thank y'all for having me. I will turn it back. Who am I turning it back over to? Jennifer, Miss Velma, who else?
I'm here.
There you are.
So-
I'm looking down because I'm looking at my computer at the same time.
I'm trying to get comfortable here. So everybody, I think a lot of us have learned that math is all around us, no matter how much we try to escape it, right? So I hope, if nothing else, your excitement meter is going up just a little bit, or your interest has been piqued. Before we go on to our next speaker, during camp and even when I was substituting, I know sometimes as young people and people that aren't as young as we used to, we get a little bit fidgety. So let's just kind of get a little of the wiggles out really quick, because we've been sitting and we've been listening so attentively, presumably, and I know you all are sitting looking at Zoom computers all day, but just kind of get some wiggles out. Take a stretch if you need to. If you need to get some more water or whatever you need to do. So let's just kind of be back, check back in about 30 seconds, a quick stretch out, quick. really quick, as we get ready for English, who's going to be our next presenter. And I'm going to check back in with Carson. Carson, are you a little bit more excited? Just a tiny bit? Even like a half of a star percent of excited? Just a tiny portion, little bit? I'm just going to say, yes, you are. So that's about 30 seconds. Again, I just wanted you all just to get a little, just get the sillies out, get the wiggles out really quick. So our next presenter that we have today, her name is English Reed Jones, and she is so excited to have the opportunity, and her passion is the opportunity to pour into young people. She's inspired by young, bright minds, and she believes that it is important that we shift the narrative and begin supporting them and doing our part in what we can do and what she can do to make sure that your future is what you want it to be. And she appreciates being able to have this platform to reach out and inspire each of you. So now that we've gotten the sillies out, we've gotten the wiggles out, our excitement meter, our excitement meter has gone up a little tiny bit. We're gonna go ahead and throw it over to English. I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself. English, are you ready?
I am ready. Hi, girls. Hello, everyone. I'm all about high energy. So I need us all to just revamp, get excited, because we are about to talk about character building and, just being positive and being fun. Again, my name is English with an I, and I am so honored to be here. I met Jean at a policy conference in Detroit, and ever since then, it's just been a beautiful relationship, and I'm so happy and honored to be here, and I'm so excited to talk to you all today. Just a little bit more about me. I am from the city of Detroit. Go Detroit. I graduated from Bowling Green State University. I studied communication with a focus in advocacy and an emphasis in social services. I've traveled to South Africa. There, I was inspired to start a membership-based social enterprise called Millennials versus Everybody, where we empower and equip millennials with intellectual tools, professional resources, and civic engagement opportunities. I work for the city of Detroit, and I am a day trader, and I love working with young people. And I will plug you all into a program that I am a part of with the Torch of Wisdom Foundation that I think all, if you're a high school girl, make sure you tap in. I love public speaking. I love working with young people, and I'm all about high energy. So I'm super excited to be here. I want you guys to get excited, to get involved within the chat. And I am going to go ahead and share my screen. Jean or Jennifer, once I share my screen, I cannot see the chat box. So I will need you all's assistance in helping me with what the girls are sharing. in the presentations before. Snap, snap, snap. Wow, you all are phenomenal. And I'm so excited to be a part of all of this. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. And if you are excited, if you are ready to talk about character building, go ahead and drop a 777 in the chat. I want all of you guys to be engaged. Go ahead and write a 777 in the chat if you are excited to talk about character building. Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Operation Refuge and Camp Inspire. Like I said, I am honored to be here. So what we're going to do today during my portion right now, I know I do not have a lot of time, so we'll be kind of quick. We're going to do some introductions, okay? We'll talk about what is character, right? Then we'll go into character building and discovering your character. Okay, I'm so excited. I'm not sure if everyone is able to come off mute to introduce themselves. So what we'll go ahead and do for introductions is go ahead and type in your chat. Introduce yourself with an adjective that starts with the first letter of your name. Okay, so for example, I would introduce myself as impactful English. So go ahead, write in the chat, introduce yourself and use an adjective. And Jen or Jean, can someone please just tell me what they're putting in the chat? I'd love to meet all of you.
Awesome. So we have Bright Brittany and Joy for Jean Overman. We'll just call her Joyful Jean.
Joyful Jean.
And Motivating Monique.
Hello.
And Aiden says, cool. Aiden, give me an adjective. Tell me something that describes yourself, like awesome or something. And Giddy Gabby.
Yes, hi, Giddy
Gabby, I love that. And terrific. Oh, wait a minute. Advising Abby. Wow.
Okay, love that.
Cool, pretty cool. Anybody else? Kind Carson. Perceptive Priya.
So cute. Glad you all are doing amazing.
Lively LaShawn. Wow, I'll go with Grateful Jennifer.
Oh. Thank you for those introductions.
Amazing Aiden, awesome. Christian, did I see you? Christian.
Please, everyone introduce yourself. Go ahead, don't feel shy, get in here.
Chill Christian, I agree. Yay, Christian.
Oh, there you go. Thank you all for being authentic and describing yourselves. We have a wonderful group here today, and I am just so honored and happy to be here. Let's go ahead and move forward. So, character, okay? So let's go ahead and just kind of break character down, okay? So the definition of character is the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual, right? So we are all made special. We are all distinctive, right? And so I kind of want to go ahead and break down mental and moral, right? So mental, how you think, right? How you move, your perception, right? We talked a little bit about that earlier, which I loved. And then also kind of some of the moral things, like how do you morally feel? What are the things that you kind of move by, right? What are some of the things that you were possibly even taught in your home? And then we have this word up here called qualities, right? So some qualities can be trustworthy, responsible, right? Courageous. Are you humorous, right? Do you have leadership skills? Are you talented and friendly, right? So I really want you all to stay engaged with me and go ahead and type out some of the qualities that you feel that you have in your character. Go ahead and write some of those in the chat. Let me know how you feel. And on here, I have this quote, right? These pictures that are right here at the bottom. And one quote says, "No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted, right? And some of you girls said that you are kind. So I want to kind of use an example. Say if you're in school or whatever, I know things are super different because we are in the pandemic. But if for example, if you ever see maybe someone who kind of looks sad, might be sitting at the lunch table by themselves, and if you know in your heart that you are a kind person, stick true to that. Go to that person and say, how are you, right? Be a friend. See how you can be kind to them, because sometimes it's just being acknowledged. It's just sometimes someone saying hi to you, someone giving you good energy that can change the trajectory of so much, right? So it's super, super important to stay firm in who you are. And if you are a kind person, live that through and through, right? Some of the other words we have on here is compassionate, right? For me, I always like to be honest and humble. That is super important to me, and I am joyful, okay? In my bio, I always put that I am the joyful, passionate doer, right? I like to put right out there who I am and how I want to be perceived, how I want people to know who I am. And then lastly, we have all hands in, right? All hands in. When you put all your hands in and you come out, it's typically a sign of excitement and of unity, right? Of excitement and of unity. And so that kind of makes me think about just being mentally excited and happy and unity. And these are things that I like to put forth. So Jen, can you please tell me some of the characteristics that describe the girls that they might have added in the chat?
Awesome. So we have kind from Monique Tate, kind, trustworthy, compassionate, spirit-led. Pastor Overman, joyful, passionate, doer. She likes what you said, English.
Thank
Gabby
you.
gave a high five. Christian said he's king of the court. Gabby, curious. Abby, funny. Priya would say patient. And Abby, fun. And I'm seeing some little happy face emojis. I think I got everyone. Awesome. Thank you all.
Thank you all so much for sharing. I'm so glad you guys are like, okay, I gotta know my character.
A true king.
And
Okay,
then we have two more, athletic from Aiden and Gabby. Oh, Abby, nice. And then Gabby said yes. Yeah.
Thank you all so much, so much for sharing. So some things that I want to get into next is about, what builds character. I'm not sure if you guys ever heard, your mom or someone say, do this, it'll build character, right? Or even being a part of Camp Inspire and being, just involved with amazing women and amazing young girls, you're going to have opportunities to build your character, right? To build being more patient, right? I know, I used to didn't want to, clean my room a lot before I went out. And if my mom would keep me here, she was literally teaching me that I have to take care of my responsibilities before I feel like I have freedom to go do things, right? And sometimes we're like, it's a bog down when we're going through certain things. But honestly, when you are going through something, sometimes you just have to reflect and say, okay, what can I learn from this, right? Anyone who, I'm not going to say everyone, but most times when someone is reframing something from you, it's truly, honestly, to help you and to help you evolve and to build your character. So always kind of think about that. Okay, so character building is an adjective, right? It's character forming, character building, requiring effort or endurance to a degree that strengthens or improves a person's character. So my best friend, she is in the Army, she's in the military, she is just phenomenal. And the things that she does has created this endurance and this strength that she has. And so all the things that she has gone through has prepared her just to be the amazing person that she is. But there were things that she had to go through, right? Things that she had to go through just to become a greater person, right? And so I always say, God is not going to bring you to something that you cannot get through, right? There might be a lesson there. There might be an opportunity for you to become a better version of yourself, right? So one thing that I want us all to do is, if you have your own experience of something that has helped you build your character, go ahead and type it in the chat. Or just in general, what are a couple of things that build character? I want to hear from you all. Again, Jen, please help me out. I can't see the
Most
chat.
certainly, most certainly.
Thank you.
Oh, that's everyone's coming fast. Priya, team building. Abby, gymnastics. Gabby, taking initiative. LaShawn, overcoming poor choices. Pastor Overman, hard work. Anything new?
Love that. Wow, you guys are on fire. Yes, hard work.
Change.
Yes,
And kindness. Change. Yeah, yes. Change will certainly build character.
Yes, yes.
Gymnastics. Priya, learning from your past. At 13, you have a past. Singing, accepting challenges. Wonderful.
You all are phenomenal. Is there more?
I think that's it.
Okay, cool. I love hearing about gymnastics, right? And I think this can apply to any sports, right? So some of us we are going to get into sports and to get active, and in there you have to listen, you have to learn to collaborate with other people, you really have to express unity and kind of go through things that may be difficult and hard, but once you make it, I love the example of sports, because in cheer, man, I did competitive cheer and also football, and my coach, she would get on my nerves sometimes, let me tell you, but she didn't play no games. She was super sharp. You needed to be on time. You needed to be attentive and upright and all these things that seem so hard. But if she wasn't that hard on us, right? If she didn't have a standard of excellence for us, we wouldn't have rose to it, and we wouldn't have won our competitions, right? We were out there. I went to North Farmington High School. Go Raiders! I'm not sure where you all are at, but that helped build our character, and that helped us move through and lead a life of excellence from then, right? So sometimes we might not understand at the time, or even in gymnastics, you are going to fall, but you're going to get up. You fall 7 times, you get up 8. And that is something that you are going to be able to take through your entire life. So that is amazing. And the last thing I want to say is, through building character, stay positive as you can, right? We are people. So emotions are fine. And I always encourage people to feel them, but don't stay there. And to always find what is the light in any situation that you're going through, right? What is the light? So stay positive and remember who you are. I always tell myself, when I'm in a rough, or if bad energy or something comes to me and try to knock me off, my queendom, right? If something tries to knock me off, I always say, I'm God-bodied. I am God-bodied. And that helps me to recenter and say that this is just something that's going to help me to become better, right? To build my character of patience, right? Of kindness, of leading with love. So if you ever need a tip when you might get frustrated or someone's trying to push over your crown, you can just tell yourself, I'm God-bodied. God is through me. He is with me. And that will help you to keep going. I see, are there things going on in the chat?
We have a lot of people agreeing with you.
Cool.
With me too, and falling 7 times is okay if you get up 8 and recenter yourself. So you are eliciting a lot of responses, and people are feeling what you're saying. So I'm guessing maybe like hand claps and stuff.
Yes, I love that. You all are awesome. Thank you so much. Activity time, moving right along. Girls, if you have pen or paper, go ahead and bring that out. Or I know you can catch me putting notes in my phone all the time. But this is just a quick exercise that we are going to go through, and then we will report out, okay? So this is the activity. We are going to, let's discuss and analyze, okay? So first, I kind of want you to, make 3 different columns, okay? And write down, what are your characteristics? So we've done that already, right? So you should be confident in knowing those, right? Your characteristics. So for example, I am kind, I am honest, I am joyful, okay? Second column, anything you wish to improve, okay? Because we all have areas where we can grow and to become a better version of ourselves, okay? So one thing for me is I want to become more patient. That is something that I strive to work on every single day because patience is a virtue. Especially I trade in the foreign exchange market. Patience is so important. Everyone is so important. You don't chase the market, you let the market come to you. So being patient is so important in so many areas and aspects of your life. Okay. And the last one is, how would you like to be seen, right? How do you wish to be perceived? Even if it's not how you are right now, but where do you want to grow to be? Okay. So for me, when I want people to see me as someone who's attentive, okay, who's passionate, who is upstanding. So if any of you girls would feel so kind to go ahead, and you don't have to share all three if you don't want to, but if you want to share, hey, here's what I want to improve on, or here's how I want to be seen, right? We've shared our characteristics, but if that's your comfort zone, you can do that too. But I would love to hear from some of you girls, and go ahead and come off mute, or you can type it in the chat, and Jen, please assist me with that. But I would love to hear some of your voices. Okay, so anything that you wish to improve, or you would like, how would you like to be seen? Go ahead and unmute yourself and share. Or if you need some time to write it down or to reflect and think, that's fine as well.
What were you saying? Wait, like, oh,
Jen, do we have anything in the chat?
Not yet. I think we're still reflecting.
Okay, that's fine. Take your time. This is a safe space, ladies, so feel free to be comfortable to share with us.
Christian
Okay.
says, nice, competitive, and fun.
Love it.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you. I think I heard someone coming off mute. Go ahead.
I am fun, loving, and joyful.
Oh, so yes, I love that. Thank you.
And Pastor Overman said, rid unnecessary bias, which is followed by Christian's response that says, and gents, please. We do have some young men with us, so I think that was a perfect response underneath that.
Okay,
And
yes, perfect.
I'm gonna assume that Ashley is Carson, so kind, funny, and flexible.
Love that. Ladies and gentlemen.
Aiden says, honest, hardworking.
Love that. That's going to get you far. For sure. Stay true to that.
Priya says, patient and flexible and hardworking.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
And then Gabby says, kind, persistent, helpful.
Wow. Yes, persistence is, that is a good one. Let's all take note of that. To be persistent. That is beautiful.
And Pastor Overman says, I want to be seen as a responsible child of God.
Yes.
And Abby says, girl, not really sure how I'm supposed to emphasize that, Abby. But girl, there we go.
Okay, girl. I see you as my girl. Okay.
Christian says, I wish to improve my grades in ball handling on the court. And Abby says, flexible. Love
it. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate you all so much. Feel free to keep this, this with you, because we are always growing and evolving into who we want to be. And I am so thankful you all participated in this exercise. Do we have any more in the chat, Jen, before I get ready to wrap up soon?
Let's see. Abby, flexible. Christian, Pastor Overman says ball handling is all math. It is so much math involved in basketball and in so many sports. And then Monique Tate wants to improve on managing her time or their time. And I think that's it. Improve my grades. Yep, that's everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate you all. So in wrapping up, I want to see if anyone has any questions for me around character building, around myself, or anything that you all would like for me to expand on, or anything. I am open to answering anything for you. And I want to plug in this Wisdom Warriors project that I am an ambassador and a part of. So Jen, if you see any questions in the chat, please let me know. Or if anyone wants to come off mute and ask anything, feel more than welcome to do that. No questions?
None in the chat, we're good.
Perfect. Okay, so if you know a high school age girl, please share this information with her. The Wisdom Warriors Project is a phenomenal project, and we have custom programming and dynamic speakers that will address real topics with our youth that they need to hear. So we have, today is kind of like the last day for sign up, but we might be able to make a couple of exceptions. Today, we focused on defining my superpowers. Next, we will talk about the mind of a warrior. We'll talk about how are we kind of misunderstood, the body of a warrior, being bold and beautiful, obstacles surrounding self-image, and so on and so forth. This is a phenomenal program, and I'm so honored to be an ambassador and to work with these young women and phenomenal girls. So you can go ahead, take a screenshot, a picture, whatever you need to do. Keep this information and spread it, spread it, spread it. Lastly, I want us to stay connected. If you all have any questions for me or anything along the lines, please feel free to stay connected. My email is English with an I, englishrj@gmail.com. On LinkedIn and Facebook, I am English Reed Jones, and Insta, I am English with an I. We could always talk about Forex trading if you're looking for an opportunity to make any extra income. Please let me know. Trading in the foreign exchange market has truly changed my life. I'm all about community building. I love public speaking, and entrepreneurship is my thing. So with that, I just want to say thank you all so much for having me. Jen and Jean, y'all are amazing. And this has been a phenomenal program thus far. And I am so honored to be here. If there is nothing else, I am all finished. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much, English, and thank you all that are participating in the chat. Dr. Reed Smith just put her contact information in the chat, and we'll be certain to share everyone's contact information, social media. We'll get that out to the email addresses that you are registered with so that you can have it for your resources. And we're getting several thank yous for English, and we're getting contact information from Brittany with Black Girl Magic. And again, we're gonna go ahead and make sure that we kind of compile all that, get that out to you. So next, I'm hearing that we have a game coming up. So who's ready for a quick brain break and for another game? Everyone, yay! So I'm gonna throw it over to our game show host.
So is that mean because I have Gabby who's taking a nap? So I am so proud of everything and the outcomes. This has been phenomenal. I do appreciate all of the commitment, and my Gabby girl is waking up. So when I think about the amazing young women that we're working with and the opportunity for her to have this kind of exposure, it just does my heart great. And I can't wait until Gabby comes next with her amazing, I don't even know how to talk about Gabby. I was there the day she was born, and the fact that she loves coding, and all while you were talking, heard she was saying my dad worked with the airplanes and he's an engineer. So she knows what's happening. She's involved and engaged. And Gabby, I don't know if you have a game or Brittany wants to do one more for math, we can do that. But we have 2 large prizes to give away yet. So Brittany, if you want to do one, or I can do this one, the one who makes the most words out of the word Camp Inspire gets a prize. So let's go, let's go, let's go.
Game. I'm gonna do that one. I like that one.
Yeah, and then so we have like 3 more prizes. So the most words out of Camp Inspire. And Brittany, if you can get ready and we can give away something. And I really want to win one box, Brittany. Is 66 too old to win a box?
No, it's not.
Okay, so I want to win. And I want a kindergarten box or a kindergarten subscription for Gabby. She just turned 4. So I want to add another subscription to that.
Well, we don't. So the kindergarten box is a one-time box for now, but if it goes well, it may become a subscription.
Okay, well, we'll get the one for her then.
Yeah, we got the one. Okay, hey, look at her.
Thank
Hey,
you.
girl.
Say hi, Gabby.
Hey, Pumpkin. Aw.
So I think they're putting things in the chat for the word Camp Inspire. Who's making words? You can get a lot of words out of Camp Inspire. I see a few. Cool, cool. Are you guys on Google? They're doing great. And Brittany, if you want to begin with yours as well, because we've got to get Gabby on so she can do hers. We'll be out of time. This is really moving quickly.
Okay, so this is like more of a pop quiz.
Okay.
I didn't talk about this in my presentation, but I would love for somebody to name one of the other Hidden Figures.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, name one of the other Hidden Figures. We already talked about Katherine Johnson. Give me another one in the comments.
Put in the comments.
They still get these words.
So
we got them going.
we have one response, but she already won. So the next person would be, let's see, Ashley Carson, Mary, I'm gonna say that's supposed to be Jackson, Carson and Ashley, we're typing fast. So we have a lot of Mary Jackson. So Priya, and then Carson, which is Ashley, and then Aiden and Christian. So that must have been first in you guys' Google search, huh? And people are still comprising words for Camp Inspire. And so I guess we can continue to let that go because I think it's going to take a moment to tally the word count for your Camp Inspire word game. And while we're doing that, as you guys are still putting that in, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Gabby, which I'm really excited to introduce Gabby. I think the last time I saw Gabby, she was a little bit bigger than Gabby girl. And now she's like a big girl. So she's a grader, 10 years old. She worked for her schools, or she was in her school newspaper for leadership. She's also been coding for a long time, and she can't wait to share and teach you all about coding and inspire others in their future. And so the one really great thing that I love about this, this flow is when you talk about when people come ahead of you to open the doors and to make ways and to give you the opportunities. We've had some phenomenal women who have presented early this morning, and now we have a young lady who's 10 years old who's coming behind. So to our presenters, knowing like right now today, there's a young woman coming behind, you all have opened the door for her today to get her comfortable, to get her excited, to get the stage set for her presentation. And Gabby, at the amazing age of 10, for you to come and present to your peers, you know, young people that are your age and younger and older, I believe will certainly inspire them and give them the confidence that they can find something that they're passionate about. And as you're opening the door for them, they'll open another door for someone else. So I'm going to hand it on over to our amazing coder, Miss Gabby.
Thank you.
And just really quick, I'm going to suggest everyone turn their volume up. Gabby has a really soft voice, so it might be hard to hear. And then Gabby, we need for you to speak in a louder voice. So if everyone can turn their volume up so you can hear her, and then she's going to speak a little bit louder to make sure that you can hear her.
Is it loud enough?
And we're ready when you are, Gabby.
Okay.
We lost your audio, Gabby. We can't hear you, hon.
I just would like to give you a short message on some of my favorite things about STEM. So I really like to code. It's like coding is like one of the things that makes me like really happy. Like I like to just like sit back and do it in my spare time. So the first time I coded was in the robot garage at Michigan. And when I moved here to Virginia, I was coding in this program called Engineering for Kids. And it inspired me to do more things involved with STEM. So one thing that I used to code a lot with is Scratch. It's a coding website for kids, teenagers, and adults. You can make games, you can make slideshows, you can make a lot of other projects. And it's really fun, so you might like to try it. One of my most favorite things about STEM is science, because you can experiment, you can try new things, and you can even combine it with other elements of STEM. Like you can combine it with math, you can combine it with the arts. Like if you wanted to make a machine with robotics, you could use STEM to make it do a lot of cool things. Like you could use science to make it float above the ground, or you could use math and you could make it draw shapes with one command. I think that STEM, sorry. I think STEM is really good, and I just want to, like, the thing that I really would like to do for other people is inspire them to do more things with STEM and like help others so that one day they could have an amazing future, so they could have a job, they could help others, and then it just goes on and on. It helps. So that person that maybe one of you helped another person, and then in the future they help another person, and it just keeps happening over and over again, and eventually everyone just gets inspired, and that's just one of my main goals in life, to help everyone to have a good future. Because there's some people who maybe maybe they were just too late, or just didn't get a chance to, because they didn't have the right person to help them, to inspire them to be great and amazing. So that's just a short thing I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabby, for sharing with us. We certainly appreciate you taking the time out to be with us today. So if everyone can give Gabby a round of applause, or give her a round of applause in the chat room. And Gabby, you're receiving rounds of applause and claps and thanks and plenty of support in the chat room. So again, thank you so much. I know this can be a little nerve-wracking, especially like if this is your first time being a guest speaker and being a presenter. So you did an amazing job. And I see that we're still getting rounds of applause for Gabby. So take your bow, take your bow. Let's see a big, beautiful smile. It's so good to see you all. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And so as Gabby,
Good job, Gabby.
oh, I think that was a good job from your
Good
sister.
job.
Great
did
job,
great.
Gabby.
And as we conclude, I believe Gabby has like a huge support team here with her. So her brother, Joel, who has been our digital mastermind today, and he worked on a registration, and her sister Abby has been a huge cheerleader. Joel, a few moments ago, dropped a link for you all to work on some coding. I think it's Scratch. You might have to scroll up in the chat to find that link, because we still have some responses coming in from our Camp Inspire game. If you can't get to it, that's fine. We'll make sure to include that in the information that we send out with everyone else's contact information. If by chance you didn't register, which means we wouldn't have your email address, go ahead, drop your email address in the chat so we can make sure we have it and we're able to get you all the information. Additionally, make sure you all visit our virtual photo booth. You're gonna smile, sparkle, shine. Ask your parents' permission, because your pictures will be shared on social media. So ask your parents' permission if it is okay for you to be part of the photo booth and for those pictures to be shared. I'll put that link back in the chat. Before I conclude, I just want to say thank you to all our phenomenal presenters for taking the time out this Saturday morning. And to all of you amazing, amazing young people, I hope that excitement meter moved a little bit. And even if it didn't, I'm going to almost bet and guarantee over the course of the next few months, something someone has said will come back to you and it'll click. It might not be today. It might be next month when you're getting your hair done and you're like, oh, hair, math, wow. Oh, amazing. Oh, HBCU. Oh, Spelman. Oh, NASA. Oh, this. Oh, character. So you have had little seeds that have been dropped. Oh, coding, Scratch. So those things are going, you might not get it today and it might not be tomorrow. And I know we have someone who loves to help their Gigi with baking and cooking in the kitchen. And I bet you she didn't know it's so much math involved in making a cake. So Carson, that's for you. So I hope that meter moved just a little tiny bit. I'm done.
Good job, Carson.
I heard, good job, Carson. So I'm excited that each and every one of you took the time, and I hope that you're inspired, and thank you for spending your Saturday morning with us. And I see that we have some friends on here from the city of Inkster, some new faces, some new names. So I'm so excited that we're branching out and we're getting more participants and continue to follow us on social media, see what Camp Inspire is doing. We're here to provide whatever resources that we possibly can and support you and your families through this time. And additionally, when Camp Inspire was first started, our first inception, it was for girls only. Our summer camp is still for girls only. So to all the boys, we are so excited and happy that you were able to join us today. So round of applause to our guys. I know Aiden is in here, and Joel and Christian. I don't know if there's any other guys or gents in here. So a round of applause to you all. We want to make sure that we have more opportunities for our guys as well. And hopefully if this pandemic stuff is over next summer, we can certainly do some more stuff with the guys. So that's it for me. Again, thank you all. Thank you, Brittany, for the prizes, the subscription boxes, and just like a personal thing. One, if you all are interested in the stock market, make sure you reach out to English, and the information that she shared about the program for the young girls. And most certainly, if you can, get yourself a subscription box. Like, these are all like amazing tools and resources that I've used personally, or I know of, or have known someone that has used these things. So this is not like some infomercial, like, oh, you're gonna be an amazing basketball player if you put on these magical socks. No, this is gonna be like stuff that really, really, really works, and that's gonna enrich you. So I'm done. I'm gonna throw it back over to our amazing game show host, and she's gonna wrap up. And again, make sure to visit the photo booth, get your parents' permission, and remember to be inspired, to be an inspiration to someone else, and always, always, always be of good character.
Love it. Thank you so much, Jennifer. As always, you're an amazing moderator. Do appreciate all the hard work you do. Just need to sum up the numbers for our winners. We have lots of prizes. And Gabby, my youthful, amazing young woman, Camp Inspire wants to gift you with a subscription. And I'm going to talk to your dad so that Abby can have one too. So you will receive subscriptions from Black Girl Magic. So let's make sure we make that happen, Brittany. And our gifts, we will get 3 from you to give out. We have 2 huge glitter stem, make some slime packages that we will give. So we have gifts. And for our young men, we have money gift cards. So for the winners, we're going to get you one for sure for kindergartners. So Dr. Smith, you didn't tell us anything about NASA. As we wrap up, could you tell us a little something that's happening in the space world?
Sure. Yeah, sorry about that. So I've only been with them since August. So for those that don't know what NASA is, it's a government organization that is responsible for all things related to outer space. It's the United States government that oversees it. But recently, I'm working with a group called Convergent Aeronautic Solutions, and it goes by CAS. It's a subgroup within NASA, where they're gathering people to think, or within NASA and outside, to think more about other aeronautic kinds of applications. So for example, things like urban mobility, what does that look like? So that's things happening, not outer space, but within the Earth's atmosphere. What are things like, how do you think about that? How do you plan for that? And think broadly, not just about the engineering and the science, but the social aspects of that. How will society respond to things like that? So they're thinking about things of that kind. And the role that I have is I'm working with their engineers to use design process methods to kind of help them think through the types of ideas and opportunities that they're wanting to explore. But most people know NASA based on things like Hidden Figures and a lot of different astronauts that have gone to outer space and things of that kind. So if there's questions, I'll be happy to answer those as well.
This is just wonderful. Thank you so much. Is anything else before we wrap up? So Brittany or English or Gabby, did you want to say any final words before we prepare to wrap up? And if you guys could tell me who won in the chat box.
Yes. So I got a little cold, so I have my blanket wrapped around me right now. But I just wanted to thank everybody for your participation today, for being so excited and energetic and sharing and participating and learning more about not only math, but like how math exists in the real world and how it shows up in our everyday lives and experiences. So so Priya won the first box, and then the second box Gabby won. But I don't know how we're gonna do that, Pastor Jen, because I know Gabby also won a subscription for her wonderful presentation today. So I guess we'll talk about that offline. And the third box, Priya was the first one to answer, but she already won, so she couldn't get that one. I think the person who answered right after her was, I think it was Carson in the chat.
Yes,
Pastor, I'm about to say you on mute.
Okay, Carson, and she was second. She can be the winner. And then
Okay.
who was after that? Because you're right, Gabby's getting a subscription. So
We didn't have a runner up in that instance. I can go back through the chat and see. It'll take me a second though to do that. But yes, so Priya and Carson for sure. So congratulations to you two. And then we have one more lucky winner of a Black Girl Magic I'm So Fly box. And I just want to thank y'all again. This was so wonderful. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the invitation. And keep sprinkling that magic all over those assignments.
thank you. That was wonderful. So English, your last words for today, your wrap up. English may be gone, so this was just wonderful. Thank you, everyone. So question, guys, what part of math is my background?
What part of math is your background?
Yeah.
Solar system.
Who was that fast?
Christian.
Christian wins. So Christian, you're a guy too. Yay, so you get the guy $50 prize. Cool. Yay, Chris. So we have a gift card for you. So thank you, everyone. I don't even want to say goodbye, but I have to. Thank you so much, Dr. Smith. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you, everyone that loves enough about STEM to get on a nice, cool Saturday and spend your time with us. God bless you. You are on YouTube, so you can see it there again. And let's spread the word. The way we become... Abby, you want to win a prize? We're going to get you a subscription with your sister. I'm talking to your dad. And anyone else, you should really get these subscriptions. First of all, she's going to be way too big for the local in a minute. They're going to have a huge factory. We're going to get stocked before the company blows up. But the way we're able to do wonderful things for one another is that we support and we learn. So let's make sure we learn as much science, tech, engineering, arts, and math as possible. And I saw your comment, Priya, at the start, because that was one of our questions. What kind of music do we learn best from? Priya said that she believes the first classical music was very soothing and wonderful to learn from, but at the same time, she loved all of that Super Tech 2020. So what is that really saying? It's saying that our minds and everything about us have adjusted where we're very flexible and we can learn in environments that we never could. And we're doing it now. More science, more tech, more engineering, more arts and math. I want to conclude with saying thank you, appreciate all of the great work. We will get the gifts to the families, and I'm so excited. God bless you all. Have an amazing day.
I have a question.
Question from outer space, go ahead. Sorry, because I'm disappearing. I'm going off into another orbit.
Okay, goodbye.
Can you do what, Chris?
I said you said you were disappearing, so and I said goodbye. So
Goodbye.
this is how Star Wars began.
See, more science, tech, engineering, arts, and math.
Goodbye, everyone.
When do we receive our gifts? Oh.